Go!
In most developing nations, children who are going out to work in factories or in industries are not going to be at school or going to making friends or playing with their friends. They are most likely to be on their family's business or working in other industries. They are just going to work in some other businesses who are is only illegal than rather legal. Not banning child labor is going to at least allow these underage workers to be protected by the government rather than exploited by the black market status. What is important is that children in developing countries are going to probably find themselves in working on lands, or even worse, begging, or even prostitution if they are not allowed to work legally. Child labor can be seen as the lesser or even better than those two bad jobs. And I would also like to mention that child labor brings much needed incomes into poor families. Even $1 a day can make these children's families to bring a meal, and this can be shown in countries like Cambodia. People live in poverty and they need all the money that they can get. The means of the anti-exploitation campaigners are good. However, if the children who work in the factories are forced to get out of the factories, they're just not going to have anything to work, and they're going to starve. And all of the developed nations, including the USA and the European countries, these countries have already used child labor in their histories. And at some point in their histories, they were developing and they used the child labor. But it is very hypocritical for them who once used child labor to turn around and tell these people and try to impose their values to those countries who are still developing. And now, I want to tell that the opposition team has to tell and be clear why child labor is a bad thing, and just rather than showing their emotions or just criticizing, I want to question them. Why is it wrong for children to work and to help support their families? And I also want to question them. What in a way does being forced to work discriminate against these children and taking away their time in their childhood, and it is disadvantaging them? And also, I want to mention that these child labor is justified, should be justified because I want to mention again that these children who are working in developing countries are not going to be going to schools or playing with their friends. They are just going to work on the lands or going to another kind of business which is illegal. And making these child labor to be legalized will at least make them to earn money to save their families and in order to feed their families. And also, if they are not working in these factories or industries who hire them, they're just going to beg to tourists or even do prostitution, which is very illegal, and make their lives to be worse than just going to factories and work. And then I want to ask the developed countries who have already used the child labor in their history, why are they opposing the child labor? Just because they're developed already, it does not mean that they have to impose their values to stop child laboring into these developing countries. Thank you.